The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Mage the Ascension's final chapter of Queen's Gambit's run. I am your storyteller, the Ravnos Archon, and before we jump into the shenaniganery that is bound to be unleashed, no pun intended for the Fae players, let's have everybody introduce themselves and their tradition.
Hi, I am Tiss, and I am playing Lydia Crane of the Euthanatoi.
I'm Miriam, and I'm playing Silas Lilly, the Order of Hermes.
I'm KoFi, and I am playing Carissa Elton of the Verbena.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'm playing Cammy with a K Elton of the Cult of Ecstasy.
And for the first two chapters, just to brush everybody up, these mages were picked by Franklin to be thrown into the Umbra to find the pieces of one of the totems, predominantly the coyote totem, as he knew that the werewolves were going after the eagle totem. It turned out that our mages were sent to the one place that mages should never go, which is the darkest part of the Umbra, and in particular, the actual home of the Triad itself. They went to the home of the Wild, the Weaver, and the Worm, and are now on their way back with a half-restored coyote himself, in hopes that they can convince him to go back into the totem. We left off with the church found on the campus of in the middle of the null zone, actually forming itself around you as you were leaving, trying to get back home. And we pick up with you standing in the middle. There are no pews. It's just an old Gothic stone cathedral. And at where the pulpit would be, you see this older gentleman, and there's these 4 stained glass windows behind him, but there's holes in each one of them. There's an amber kind of sunset coming through, giving everything a kind of orange, burnt umber feel to them. Every hole in the stained glass window matches the shape of your avatars. And he closes what looks to be a heavy, heavy leather-bound Bible. And as he does, it kind of flitters into flaming butterflies that dissipate into little clouds of black and gray smoke. And he holds out his arms like a revered member of society. You have brought my pieces home. It'll be good to be whole again. Come forward. Let us rejoice in the union and the rebirth of the host.
Your pieces?
No.
Yeah, it's not yours.
But we are whole. Surely you must feel it. And as he moves, the stained glass looks like it breaks apart. There's no noise, though. And it takes the shape of these burning wings. It's still glass. It's still that orange umber color. And some of the shards come forward and form a sword in front of him, like a jagged, broken glass sword in front of him. And he's like, I am Michael. I am the flaming sword of creation. And you are the last 4 pieces. I need to restore myself to the host and usher in a new era for man. You can come willingly, or I can take what is mine. And there's a moment where all of you feel not just each of the spheres kind of prickling in the back of your necks, there's a 10th sensation. There's a new sensation, something that even those of you that have a rudimentary knowledge in as many spheres as you can, like this doesn't feel like anything you felt before. It almost feels divine.
Is Coyote still with us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is crouching behind one of the pillars, just kind of peeking out, but there's a fear in his face.
How far in front of us is he?
Oh, 50 feet.
Okay, Coyote, do you know this person?
He shakes his head.
Do any of us know anything about what he means at all?
You can roll intelligence and occult or intelligence and esoterica. Either one will get you there.
Do in fact have some esoterica and occult.
Occult will have a difficulty 8. Esoterica will have a difficulty 7.
Esoterica it is then. Intelligence.
Esoterica, I got 2.
2. Okay.
Difficulty 8.
8 for occult.
Okay, I rolled occult. 3.
Nice.
I only have 2 for esoterica.
Okay, 2 successes.
Now this is a combination of intelligence and occult.
And occult or esoterica, whichever you want to roll. Occult has a difficulty 8 attached to it. Esoterica has a difficulty 7.
Okay, we'll go with esoterica then.
Okay.
Three.
Okay. All of you come to the same kind of conclusion at the same time through whatever means you took. The only real mention of a Michael as it pertains to creation is the Archangel Michael and the flaming sword that he cast judgment on the world with.
Yes, but this actually can't actually be an archangel. Right?
It cannot. There is the spark of an avatar, but it is very different. You can all see that your avatars have manifested in the room with you. And there is this outline around them, and whatever color you feel is associated with your avatar in particular, you see that kind of in the shapes that were holding on to that shape of theirs in the stained glass windows.
This can't be enough. This must be a mage who thinks he's an archangel. A mage who.
In our mental link,
Mhm.
Carissa says, "This is not an archangel. This is a crazy person. This is a mad one. We either need to fight or flee. These are our choices."
You hear him, he has a little chortle. You are so quick to judge, and yet you feel divinity. Come home. I have scoured so long for the shards to make myself as I was, to fulfill my prophecy.
And what
We are the
is-
shards. We're the shards?
The last four.
No.
Why do you think
No,
I
we're good.
pulled so
No.
hard to get you here?
No. Cammy, let's do this. This is not
Yeah.
happening. We're
Everybody
not
roll
pieces of
willpower
this-
for me.
Yeah. Is there a way out of here that we can see? Like, is there somewhere to run to? Like, it's alright saying we want to flee, but
There are stained glass windows everywhere.
Oh well, that's a botch.
Perfect.
for rolling willpower, do we roll a total willpower or like willpower minus? Like,
Minus whatever you've used.
okay.
Yeah, it is your current willpower.
2.
2, difficulty 6.
Power minus what you've used. Okay.
2.
2.
And 3 once again.
3 again. Okay. So we'll start with Silas, since you rolled 3. Walk us through the moment you awakened. What was happening?
I was. This was a bit after the accident that my little sister was in, and I was out in the woods, and I had fallen down into some rocks in a chasm, and I couldn't quite figure out how to get out, and I felt someone leading me.
You see, you know this memory intrinsically. It is a part of you. And there's a moment where after you fall, you feel hands, a pair of hands just kind of grab you under the armpits and help you up. And you hear his voice. Come home, brother.
His voice.
And he is
Okay.
there. He is the hand that helped you.
I'm not believing this. Can I? Is there anything I can do to roll to disbelieve that this is not?
You can spend a willpower point.
I've already spent one, but I'll spend another one.
You shake it off. You kind of shake your head, and there's a moment where you're brought back to the church. But you notice that as you come to, you hear the sound of stone grinding against stone, and you see that the church is separating into a second copy of itself. And there's a second copy of this preacher. And again, he's just wearing the same clothes for the era where you would have awoken. And he just has his hand out. And you just hear him in your head, come home. Come home.
No, I will not.
Lydia, walk us through when you first awakened. And before you do that, actually, since you have mind 1, you can attempt to counter this.
Okay. I think that's just one die.
No, it is your arete.
Okay, arete, that's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. You roll your arete. And you're trying to get more successes than me.
Okay, what is the...
6, 7, actually, sorry, 7 for counters.
it's 2 successes then, not 3.
Okay. There's a moment you feel something. It touches every ridge, like a Rolodex, trying to find something in your brain. Every crevice, every twist, every bend just has this little massage of fingertips moving. And then we're brought into the moment you awakened. What happened that day?
The car is upside down. There is broken glass everywhere around. And I reach out and I'm trying to reach out for Bethany, which her hand is cold. And it takes me a moment to realize that she's dead. And then through sort of the gloom through the window of the car, I can see the dark shape of the black rabbit, the thing that she told me of. I can see it, this dark, shadowy form with just a pair of red eyes staring at me, watching me.
You see the rabbit start to kind of dog crawl towards you. And as another car's lights and screeching hit it, you see that it's him. And he's holding out his hand to you. And he's trying to help you out of this car. Come home.
No.
You can be reunited. Be whole again. Don't you want to be whole?
Am I able to fight this?
You can spend the willpower point.
I will do that. I try and fight it, even though there's a sort of moment of hesitation where she almost reaches out her hand and draws it back.
You will also take 1 point of lethal damage.
Lethal damage. Okay.
Mm-hmm. As you try to shake this off, there is just this racking pain that shoots through your body. And you feel like you are pushing against not just what should be, but what must be.
Oh, fighting fate. It's not wise.
Carissa, walk us through when you awakened. And you have mind as well, so...
Yes, I do. She would attempt to
counter
get him out of her head.
Yep, same sensation.
Difficulty
7 to
6?
counter.
1.
Okay. So it feels more like the biblical snake kind of slithering through the garden of your brain, just trying to find something, and then it wraps around this apple, this nugget that is your awakening. What happens?
I was 17 and was with Mommy Witch and Mommy's Coven. And they were deep in the woods at night. And they were performing seasonal rituals. And I was taking part in those. And at the apex of the full moon, highest in the sky, I awakened.
There's a moment where you're in the throes of this sensation, and there was not a celestial event planned. And as you're looking up, you suddenly see that there is a lunar eclipse happening. The moon is slowly being blocked. And then you'll feel a hand on your elbow and on the top of your back, almost like urging you to stand up, even though You don't need it. And his voice is just soothing. I want us to be together again, like we were in the beginning, like we will be in the end. Come home.
She's going to definitely resist this.
Okay. And willpower point. And 2 points of lethal damage for you. And now we get to Cammy.
Yep.
Who botched?
Who botched? Indeed.
And doesn't have mind.
Nope.
So
We talked about beforehand. I thought about it.
Mhm.
Chose Prime. But okay.
good choice.
Apparently not.
Well, I mean, if you throw the prime bolt at you, you can deflect it. Walk us through how you awakened.
Yeah. So Cammy had long been frustrated with her family and kind of spent a lot of time on her own since she didn't believe, despite everything there, just because she couldn't do anything herself. And so one day when she's out, she's going rock climbing and she is lead climbing, which is where you have a rope, but you're not hooked in the same. And one of the things pulls out of the wall and she starts free falling from the cliff face. And as she approaches further and further down, time kind of slows entirely. And she's able to kind of maneuver in a way where she ends up being okay.
You know this memory just like everyone else knows their memories. And there's a moment where, as you're falling, you hear wings flapping. You feel the cradling of arms just suddenly stop your descent. And his voice is so reassuring, so soothing, so right. And he says, I have you, as I've always had you, as I will always have you. Let us go home together. You are me, as I am you. I can save us.
Is she back in present moment now?
She is not.
Okay.
But there are 3 copies now. As everyone has come out of their stupor, there is a copy for each of you that has resisted him. There is the temple, this church is now a giant stone cross. The vaulted ceiling has ripped away piece by piece, converting itself into the stained glass of his wings. Orange, reds, and yellows bathe the entirety of this space. And each copy is holding out their hands, one to each of you that have turned them away. The 4th is just standing there, observing, fingers crossed in front of him, almost like praying, but not. He's anticipating, he's hopeful, but he's broken. There isn't a single avatar like you have. There are shards. You can see in some of the stained glass lives, people that he has brought into the fold. There are lives, some with Puritan silhouettes, some with 1970s silhouettes, but all of them share some thread to each other, to him, and to each of you, unfortunately. And he points to Cammy. She does not resist. Why do the rest of you? I don't understand.
In their mind link, Carissa is going to call out to Cammy and try to wake her up. Cammy, you have to resist him. You can't go with him. You have to stay with us.
There is, in Cammy's memory, as you are being glided down back to a safe perch on this mountain, an echo, a long forgotten, unremembered. You don't remember her ever saying these words to you. But there's a plea on the wind, very far. Whispers, secrets.
Is Cammy in control at like all at this moment?
What do you want to do?
So I imagine she has like her backpack with her.
Mhm.
And now that she's not climbing and she's being carried down, she looks in her backpack and takes out her Anne doll and like looks at it and thinks of Carissa because it's clearly her. She's just trying to remember.
The doll looks weathered, as it's always looked. It's a hand-me-down. But where it came from has never been really nailed down. And you kind of feel yourself thumbing the face. What does your sister mean to you?
Oh, that's such a loaded question. She
Especially in
is-
this time period.
in this time period, she honestly, it's very much the situation in which your sister is like smarter than you, better at like everything. And so like frustrated and annoyed. However, there's still that like protection. We are a team. Like I hate you sometimes, but I will never let anything happen to you.
You can spend a willpower point and take 6 lethal damage to come out of this.
I got you, baby. Baby, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm on the other side. I got you.
I guess the trust.
You can keep staying in this memory.
The trust. She hurt her sister.
Okay. I'm assuming that 6 is higher than your stamina currently.
Just barely.
So everyone will see Carissa. Cammy has been kind of not swaying, but it almost like an actor trying to find their balance in one of the breathing exercises. So there's a lot of forward and backwards, never falling, never catching themselves, just kind of a half wobble, half trying to center. And there's a moment where it looks like she's cleared the fog away, but you see the bodies just racked. It looks like if somebody has just wrung out a towel and then dropped her in front of you. It is painful to watch as arms and fingers and legs twist in ways they were never meant to twist. And his hands come up. I wish you could have done this a different way. I see the choice you have made, and I forgive you. Everybody roll initiative for me, please.
That seems appropriate.
It's going to be 1d10, and then you add the total of your wits and dexterity to your total.
But wits and dexterity.
10 total.
10. Okay, 10 for Carissa.
14.
14 for Lydia. Nice. Cammy and Silas.
Would help a lot if I'm not muted. 11
There you
for
go.
me.
11 for Silas. And Cammy, with the -5 from your wound penalties, what does that give you total?
Is that minus successes, minus dice?
No,
Like-
just minus to your total because it's only one die.
Then it'd be 6.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the good news department, one of you gets to go.
7. Sorry. 7 math.
All right. Yep. Still
Yeah, doesn't really matter.
same outcome. The good news is that one of you does get to go first. The bad news is that he goes after them, and the fucking happens.
Okay.
So Lydia, you get to go first.
Well, I am in this moment angry, upset,
Sure.
and I have one tool to use really in those conditions, which is just try. I mean, he is still a living being, right? He is a living creature.
You hope so.
With all these mirror, like fragment glass. No, that would be forces and matter. I did not have either of those. Let's just try and essentially kill him, unmake him,
Okay.
just throw everything in terms of like just the raw power of trying to stop him, he shouldn't be here, shouldn't still be alive here.
Mhm.
Like he has clearly been here far too long. It is well past time that he just died, right?
Sure. So you're going to
Let's
bring the
try.
full brunt of entropy against him?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one weapon, it is a cudgel.
Yeah. So you're going to roll your arete. You're going full bore. Level 4, like just to unmake him.
Yes.
So in his realm, because he is a marauder, all of your abilities are going to count as vulgar. So the difficulty begins at 4 plus the highest sphere that you're using. So if you're going for level 4 entropy, you're looking at a difficulty 8.
Okay. Can I throw either willpower or quintessence into that in any way to make this?
You can throw both. You can spend 1 willpower point for an automatic success.
Okay.
And you can spend any number of quintessence to bring down the difficulty by 1 for each quintessence you use.
This is important. This
Sure.
might be the only chance. I'm throwing 3 in there, 3 quintessence.
Okay. Brings your difficulty down to 5.
5 plus 1 automatic success. Okay. That's 2 successes on the dice plus 1
Right.
from the willpower.
That's 3. You see parts of the stained glass reform into wings and kind of come up in front of him. Because of who he is and because of the shards that he has collected, he does get one free counter outside of his actions. So he brings you down to one success. And on the damage rating, one success is not enough to do anything magically to him. You feel what you should have done. You feel the forces of uncreation. And then there's like a clarion bell that goes off, and even your avatar shudders. And there's a moment where it looks at you, your avatar, questioning whether that was a good idea or not.
Don't look at me like that. Be helpful or not.
For his turn, you see the wings go back and become part of the stained glass again. That's a bad day for them. Carissa, you don't have correspondence.
I do not.
When the hole underneath you opens up, there's really no way for you to protect yourself. And when it closes around your waist, there's no way to protect yourself. So you're going to take 5 points of aggravated damage as your legs land 20 feet away from you.
We're bad, chat. We're in huge. Oh, this is a Doors song. This is the end.
Yeah.
Beautiful friend, the end. Y'all got that one for free. Carissa is sliced in half, like Darth Maul style.
Yep.
But I do want to point out to my beloved sister that the Andy is in her backpack, which is on her upper body. So it's on the right side of the portal. Just going to put that out there.
Okay. It is one of the most benevolent things that he has done is that he cut you off right underneath any of your vital organs. So it's just the bottom of your spine and your legs that really end up somewhere the fuck else. But everything else that is important to you is still intact. The only reason that you took aggravated damage instead of lethal damage is because you lost your goddamn legs. And there's no way that I can justify that being lethal damage. But you are still alive. And that is his action.
I can fix this. I can fix this.
You can. You can definitely fix that. That brings us to Silas.
All right. Do I get any feeling at all from my avatar about what's going on?
Your avatar is frightened. She is now hiding behind you and just kind of squatted down and just rocking.
Can I see where Carissa went?
Carissa's still there. Like,
okay.
The majority of her is there. Her legs are somewhere the fuck else.
Okay. So the hole kind of just took the bottom half.
Yeah.
And then she's still with us. Oh.
It was like a camera lens. It was just like open, shut.
Ah, okay.
Correspondence in the wrong hands is very dangerous.
I'm going to say she's probably looking like she's in distress. Can I use my life 3 to I'm not sure if I can heal her or at least stabilize her.
You can in fact use life 3 to stabilize.
Okay.
It'll be it'll be an Arete roll.
Okay.
It's going to be difficulty 7.
Three.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you not only stabilize her, but you also manage to actually seal the wounds. You've created musculature and skin to kind of graft itself around where the legs would have grown out of, or should be. But that brings us to Carissa.
I'm healing my sister. I was going to let myself die to heal my sister, but thank you, Silas, for thinking of me.
I like it.
We all got to get through this.
Yeah.
So I'm doing it's vulgar.
Yeah, so it's 4 plus.
Okay.
You're doing life 3.
1.
1. So Cammy will heal 1 health level.
It's not what we hope for.
I mean,
friends.
it's -2 rather than -5. So
Yeah, that helps. And then that brings us to Cammy.
alrighty. So Cammy is still very, very, very fucked up.
Mhm.
So in terms of the like placement of people,
Yes.
is Carissa like in front of her, in between her and
She's next to you.
She's next to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Cammy's gonna take the doll out of her backpack and put it next to Carissa. And then can she walk now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's painful to get up, but things have been righted
Okay.
that were wronged.
This is gonna be I don't know if this is a good idea anymore. It was never a good idea. She's going to she's gonna run. Cause she's still how bad is Carissa now?
I mean, she's not bleeding out anymore. So
Okay.
she will probably be okay if she gets medical attention or the attention of a life mage.
Okay. In that case, she's I'm gonna change my mind. She's gonna heal Carissa
Oh,
with life.
okay. So you have life 3.
I do.
Yeah, so it's going to be difficulty 7.
And I use my Arete. Right. Remember how to play the game.
Yes, you roll your Arete. Arete, luckily, is not affected by your wound penalties. So you always roll your full dice pool for Arete.
If it's 7,
And it's a difficulty 7.
that's 2.
Okay, you heal 1 level of aggravated damage. How do you think that looks to Cammy? What does your healing consist of?
So honestly, I feel like what it is so like as she hands Carissa the doll, she just like would lovingly rub her hand on her sister's back, like comforting like a sick sister. And that's kind of like what heals her. Like very much the stereotypical like glow of like, yeah.
Yep. So there's a familial bond that comes from the two of you coming to each other's aids. And there's a moment where your avatars are bolstered by this image. They're not as scared as the other 2 avatars are. And he steps down from the dais, and you see the other copies of him follow suit. And now that you see him, there are trails behind him Cammy can actually see that he's used time to augment himself. Physically, he is going to be very difficult to deal with. This is turned into a life or death version of Sertaman, which is the mage duels. But that brings us back around to Lydia.
Okay. So these fragments of the windows are still there with all these sort of echoes of all the people he's lured here.
Yeah.
All the people he's trapped. And they are now part of him, or their power has been absorbed into him?
They're part of him now.
Are they in any way still present? Is any sort of part of them still here?
Not anymore. Once you know, especially as a Thanatos, that once your mortal body is killed, your avatar fucks off. It finds a new host and you begin the wheel again. There's always, you know more than anyone that death is a new beginning and that life is an ending to something else.
Okay.
So whatever happened to them, it has happened to them permanently. And if it happens to you, it will happen to you permanently.
Okay. Is there any way of turning what he's done to them back against him? Some sort of, like, I don't know. I'm trying to sort of find some mage way of invoking karmic justice upon him for all the people he's lured here. And
You would have to spend time studying each of the shards to get a better idea of how they were lured. Because they are, if you pay attention to the shards long enough, you'll see a story unfolding. Like he is arrogant enough to show how he won over everyone. And you can see that there are pieces of glass that are breaking off and starting to form reflections of your avatars. Like there's a little kind of bunny ears that are being formed right now. And you see all the events starting to show, like you arriving at the Double Crown, the Stargate, and then there's just a burnt umber again, the orange, the yellow.
can I take, this is possibly a bad idea. That's my job.
Yeah.
Can I take
Mage is nothing but bad ideas.
Understand what he did in some way to undo it?
Sure. So that'll be at least 2 rounds of just perception and alertness. You can go longer. This will be an extended roll.
Well, I might not be alive in 2 rounds, Thomas. You know, let's take it slowly. Okay. Perception?
Yeah, it's going to be difficulty 6. There's nothing crazy about this. But because it is an extended roll, you're going to need to get to a certain threshold. So just be aware of that.
I need more dice for perception and alertness.
Oh, I like to hear that.
1, 2, 3. Alertness, not awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the bar?
6 or higher.
6 or higher. That is 5 successes.
Okay.
Out of possible 7. That was good.
That's a good roll. Yeah. So
I just need to not die as I'm trying to sort of turn away from him, trying staring at these fragments, trying to understand.
And the rest of you see that he notices, and there's a smile that comes across his face. And he turns his attention to everyone else. Silas, you actually have forces. So when he pulls on the natural electricity of the air and shoots a lightning bolt at you, you can counter it if you'd like.
I would like.
Okay. Okay.
Can I absorb it and convert it to anything like quintessence?
Ooh, that would be a prime trick instead.
Because I do have prime.
You do have prime. What do you have your prime at? 4. Man, you could totally do that instead. Just be aware, instead of because you're not countering it, whatever successes you don't get above him, you're going to take his damage.
Understood.
Okay. Yeah, roll your arete.
Difficulty?
It's going to be 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
1.
1. Okay. So you convert one of his successes into 2 points of quintessence. I'll be generous and do that for you. Yeah. But you're going to take 4 levels of aggravated damage.
Okay. Ouch, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Lightning hits you and racks your body, and you collapse. There's a smell of burning skin and flesh that just kind of, and the ionization of the air. It is unpleasant. Hair, like body hair, is standing up on end. The little hairs on the back of everybody's neck is straight up. Because you countered or tried to counter, that's going to eat up your turn. So instead of you, it's going to go to Carissa.
Excuse me. Having a coughing attack.
Oh,
She's going to heal her sister.
okay. Difficulty 7. Three. So Cammy's gonna heal 4 levels of lethal. Yeah, because that's all you have left. All right.
Nah, I have 1 more level of lethal.
Oh yeah, you heal it all.
So she's like full health now?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
As long as it's not aggravated, because aggravated does require 2 successes per level.
Interesting.
But if it was all lethal, then yeah, you healed it.
Okay.
So that brings us to Cammy.
So how's the fight like looking overall? Like we haven't really got like anything off on him. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Lydia is staring up at the shards of glass that are his stained glass window. So it wouldn't be too hard to assume that she might be in the throes of another mind attack. Silas just got hit with lightning, so he's on the floor.
Yeah,
crumpled.
okay. You just want her to do what I messaged you, is what I'm hearing. Because you're spinning things in that way. So
no, live your life. You know that Carissa's fucking legless right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to start investing in a wheelchair.
So yeah, I guess that fuck. This is such a bad idea. But also cult of ecstasy.
Sure.
So she is going to run at him.
Okay.
And try and bring him into a separate time bubble with her.
Okay.
Cammy, no. Cammy, no.
Cammy, no. Yeah, nobody attacked him, so I do get my counter. But go ahead and roll your arete, difficulty 8.
Remind me. So willpower is an automatic success.
Willpower's automatic success.
Gonna do that one. And quintessence lowers the difficulty.
Quintessence lowers the difficulty by 1 per point spent.
Okay. Okay. So I spend 1 point then
Okay, so that'll bring it down to difficulty 7
with 1 success already.
with 1 success from willpower.
Hell yeah. Do tins make any difference here?
Not really.
Okay. Well, that's 4
4. Okay. With your willpower or not counting the willpower?
with the willpower.
With the willpower. Okay. So that means that my 3 subtracts that. So you have one turn of pulling him out of this time frame. So he'll come back and his initiative will change to right after you when it would have been your turn.
Okay. What in this separate bubble, she wants to unleash as much paradox as she can. Like just fuck shit up.
Oh, so you want to backlash.
Yes.
Okay. How much paradox have you garnered?
I think you've spit down a fair bit. I had gathered a lot. So I have 1 documented on mine. I don't know how many you have on yours. Because then you were also keeping track.
Yeah. All right. If you're going to use up all of it, you're at 6. Are you sure you want to backlash?
If I backlash, will that also damage him?
Yeah, it'll damage both of you.
Okay.
Mentally, it might make you a marauder like him, though.
Really? It won't just kill her?
We'll see what happens.
We don't need 2 marauders in this situation.
No.
What do you do? Oh, I rolled really good. That's bad. But at least you're going to burn off all of this paradox.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So
I'll do it.
Two,
She can try
3.
it.
All right, so 5 points of bruising damage, of bashing damage. Make a willpower roll. Let me see what his willpower is. Okay.
Difficulty?
Difficulty is 7.
That is, oh, fuck. It was a 1 and a 9. God damn it. So not a botch this time.
Okay, good. Slowly moving up. And you can soak this bashing damage, by the way. So if you want to roll your stamina to lessen how much you're about to take.
I'll do that.
Okay. Wow.
What number does that take? Is it
6? Yeah, 6.
Okay, so that's 3 then.
Okay, so you only take 2 points of bashing damage.
Cool.
He took a lot of this. I was not prepared for that.
Okay.
Okay.
So
there they are. What did you get in your willpower again?
It canceled out. So
It canceled out. Okay. You don't have the mind sphere.
Nope.
Carissa, what goes through your mind when you see Cammy take him and disappear from this existence, basically?
That I just lost my sister.
And what happens when you feel her willingly call Paradox to backlash against her?
That she's still around, but she's doing something crazy, but not off brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm worried that she's killed herself, maybe in service to all of us, but I'm afraid that she's dead.
Okay. The fear of your sister's worry that you might die is just barely enough to keep you from finding a new reality for your paradigm. Just barely. You sit there, you see what this paradigm has done for him, the sensation you felt when he saved you from falling to your death floods back up in your memories. But like before, Carissa's voice comes through. An echo, a whisper on the wind, a far off plea. And your avatar tugs on you and points in the direction you remember Carissa being. And as we're about to go to Lydia, I think this is a good time to take a break. We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Hang tight. And welcome back, everybody. When last we were here in the first half, they met the Archangel Michael, or what has been gathered of Michael, and he wants the last 4 pieces. And I'll give you a couple of guesses to figure out who those 4 pieces belong to. We left off with Cammy pulling this preacher into a pocket time dimension where she unleashed the paradox backlash she had stored up and did some damage to the both of them. But we come back to the top of the round. The big thing about this time bubble is that you've changed his initiative, which might be huge for you guys. But Lydia, his stained glass is still out there. It didn't disappear with him. So you can continue looking at the unfolding stories.
I'm still going to try and make sense of it. I know that Carissa has no legs, and that's probably a problem we should be solving, but...
She's not bleeding out, so she's fine now.
Look,
now.
She's the life mage. Look, if she can't handle it, then nobody can. Is it still...
Still perception alertness.
Perception alertness.
Difficulty 6.
Difficulty 6. 1, 2, 3. Only 3 successes that time around.
Okay. Doing some quick math, which I'm only slightly better than Maddox at. You are a third of the way.
Almost. There's something here. I'm just not quite seeing it yet.
Just letting you know in case you want to do something else, or if you want to keep pushing forward. But now instead of him, that brings us to Silas.
But he's not here, though. No, just
he is not there. His copies are. They're still the one that you interacted with is still holding its hand out to you.
But they've not. None of them have interacted with the rest of us. It's all been the one primary.
It's been the primary host, yeah.
Okay, I will continue. I will. Wondering whether I should ignore them, because not really much. We're not having that much luck doing anything directly to him.
Correct.
And because I had totally forgotten about wonders. How realistic do these other copies look? I mean, do they look like they're real living?
They do. They're breathing. They share his facial expressions.
Now, do they mirror him, or are they separate? Like when he's talking to us, do they all mirror him exactly? Or?
No. They react to whatever's happening to their opposite. So if the one that's interested in you, when you got hurt, his face winced, almost like he immediately regretted doing that to you. And like he shared your pain, kind of thing.
Okay. Can I do anything further for Carissa?
You can keep trying to heal her. Carissa's got, 4 aggravated left?
I will do what I can.
Coyote kind of slinks over as you're trying to help Carissa, and you see him put his hands on her shoulder. I hope this helps. And he's going to do grandmother's touch. So, how much did Silas heal?
Well, let's see.
Difficulty 7
On my irritate.
on your arete.
Yeah. 4.
4. So you heal 2 successes, two health levels of aggravated damage. Also, Carissa, the use of the gift Coyote has heals you the rest of the way.
Yay.
Does she have legs?
She does not have legs. It does not regenerate, but it does heal. And then he slinks back behind the pillar he was hiding behind. Carissa.
Since my sister is gone, I'm not sure where she is, and we may have to make an escape. I am going to use life to regenerate my legs so I can maybe run and not have to be carried and be a burden for everyone.
Okay. Difficulty 7.
Burn a willpower, and then I'm going to lower the difficulty with 1 quint.
Okay. Difficulty 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. It looks like it would be one of the most painful things to watch, especially with Silas standing there, just looking down at your little stumps kind of coming out, the bone shooting out and kind of reforming itself, the musculature, the veins and arteries, little network, just everything coming together again. And you have legs.
Hey, I have legs. We're back, chat.
You are back. And as your legs reform, Cammy and the preacher reblink into existence. Cammy, your turn.
Yeah. So she is probably going to. Yeah, she's just gonna punch him. I bet Michael's never just been punched. She is going to probably use. I'm trying to think of the best punch. Ouch. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Wants to use entropy and life to try and find the best, possible, most effective punch place / time of her turn, and make her fist claws more damage. However we want to spin that.
So
Probably
what
you
if,
have Prime. Do you have Prime 2?
I have Prime 1.
yeah, so it'll last for a round. Which one of the effects do you want to concentrate on? Because you get 1 per turn.
Probably the entropy one, I'll be honest.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your arete. I think that's only an entropy level 2. So that'll be difficulty 6.
That is 1.
Okay. It looks like his vestments are flowy and baggy. So you don't know if there's anything underneath there that might protect him. But you're pretty sure a straight body shot, like under the rib cage, even if you're prepared for it, could really do some damage.
Yeah. Can she do it? Am I able to do that?
Yeah. Do a strength and brawl.
3, 4. I'm guessing dirty fighting or raw power would count for this. Okay. What difficulty are we talking?
Because of your use of arete to find a weakness, I'll say it lowers it to 5.
Cool. Wow. Really? Dang. That ends up being 1 success on 8 dice.
1 success.
Maybe the system does not like me.
Yeah. Botching on a fucking willpower roll. So unlike you. You remember right as you pull the trigger on your punch and it flies forward, you remember that you saw him already having sped himself up. Like you saw the after images, the trails, that he is prepared physically for any kind of combat. So when your hand goes to contact his body, when he shifts almost like a Tai Chi master and redirects your punch straight up into your face, the only thing going through your mind is, well, fuck. So roll your strength.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to, because I'll say that once it's coming at your face, you can pull back a bit. Up to you how much damage you want to do to yourself.
Yeah, so the strength's to pull back. And so then I do have a question on the time thing after I roll this.
Yeah.
Just strength. What difficulty?
6.
That's 2.
Okay. So you managed to pull your punch and all you get is a contact. So soak 2 points of bashing damage.
So my question is it with the way he's manipulating time, if you, I guess you can counteract that with either entropy or time, right? Or no?
It doesn't look like it's an effect that he has activated, but he's definitely under the effect of time.
Okay.
So an equal or stronger effect would have to take hold of him.
Do ones affect soak rolls?
No.
Never mind.
No, I'm not gonna be mean.
Okay. I take it.
Okay. Nice. And for his actual turn, yes, Silas?
What's that?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was laughing at something.
Okay. Oh my God. So I'm going to use 1 for that and 1 for that. And then Carissa and Cammy don't have correspondence.
I just got my legs back.
Yeah. And you see him bring down his hand. And as he does, Silas and Lydia, you'll see the fragments of his stained glass just kind of reform themselves into this massive sword. And it comes down on Cammy into a hole that's opened up with correspondence. And then the rest of it comes down on Carissa from another hole that he opened with correspondence. And both of you are going to take 8 points of lethal damage.
Again, the Doors song. This is the end.
So that means that you have taken 7 points of lethal damage and 1 point of aggravated damage, and both of you are knocked unconscious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that puts us out, right?
Mhm. Until you get some healing, that puts you out. And he yells out, and as he does, the other copies of him look angry, like a father who's caught their teenager just doing the stupidest things they were told not to do. And he yells out, and the walls reverberate. I tried to be gentle, and I tried to be generous with you, and now I will take what is mine. Lydia.
Okay. Cammy's down. Carissa's down. Nothing is good. I have no answers yet.
Yep. You're a third of the way there, though.
I'm a third of the way there.
Technically, a little bit more. There's a rough fraction I don't want to really do the work for.
No, I need, like, we will just keep dying if we don't know how to defeat him.
Sure.
I need the answer.
Do it.
If they die, they die.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. Who better to fade away than the two sisters?
Why couldn't I got some? What's the bar again?
6. 6 or higher.
7 successes.
7. That's a good one.
If I could have got some of these earlier, that would have been greatly helpful. That was a success on every single die.
You just went from a third of the way there to 3/4 of the way there in one roll. Things are starting to make sense, though, and the way you're looking at it, this guy is either centuries old, or he has thrown himself forwards and backwards in time.
Okay.
It's easier to believe the latter, especially given how fast he moved when Cammy tried to punch him.
Okay, he's using time.
Yeah. Silas.
Yes.
Your turn.
How engaged is he with everyone else? Is he paying close attention?
To you, no.
To me, no. Okay.
No, he's got his eyes set on Cammy and Carissa.
In that case, I'd like to squeeze this little bracelet that I have.
Okay.
I believe it's the bracelet of Apophis.
Yeah.
And send that gift over to him.
Activating this, bangle will summon a real snake to replace the item on the material plane. When activating, the type of snake desired should be whispered into the bangle's head. The number of successes on the activation will determine the duration for the snake's existence. So roll its arrative 3. Difficulty, what snake do you want?
Let's see, what's the most poisonous one I would know?
Black Mamba?
Yeah, I was going to say a Mamba. So we'll go with that one.
Yeah, La Bamba.
2.
2 successes. Yeah, you see the bangle just start to slither around your wrist, and as it does, it uncoils more and more of itself until it becomes this 9-foot long, beautiful obsidian scaled monstrosity of a umbral representation of the Mamba. Almost very, very close to the spiritual, capital S, version of what a snake spirit would look like. And it starts to work its way over to him. It will attack next turn. And Carissa and Cammy, you both have Prime. You just got Prime, right, Cammy? Because you were talking about that. So I will let you have reflexively a counter roll against him.
And is that just your Arete? Or
That is just your Arete. It is difficulty 7. But Lydia and Silas will see him and
3.
feel him calling on Prime. 3 for you, good.
do ones cancel out on this roll?
Yes.
That becomes 0 then.
Okay. So Carissa takes another 2 points of aggravated damage as he starts to rip your avatar from you.
Like, I'm pretty sure Carissa might be dead.
No, because she got fully healed. So
Then I took 5 more.
And then
but
then
lethal.
More.
Lethal turns into aggravated once you reach the full end of it, and until you take all aggravated, you can still be brought back, and you can keep taking damage.
Okay.
So you took 2 points of aggravated damage. Unfortunately, because of the 0, that means that Cammy takes 10 points of aggravated damage and has her avatar ripped from her.
So I am dead.
Yes. And now we get our first gray box. And the other 3 will see the avatar physically and spiritually pulled and cast up into the stained glass, and it merges with the hole that has been made specifically for it. And you see him just kind of take it in, and he smiles and he becomes a little bit bigger, becomes a little bit more grander. And now you can start to feel that 10th sphere really pushing against the Tellurian. And the 3 of you start to hear, actually Silas and Lydia are the only ones that are awake for this, but the 2 of you start to hear that sound, that thunking sound that you heard at the Double Crown when the Stargate was being powered up. It is starting. You feel like maybe help is coming. Maybe. But that brings us to Lydia.
No, there's no turning back now. If I turn back now, then everything else was for nothing.
Yeah.
Can I do what I should have been doing before and throw willpower into this?
Sure, you can throw 1 point of willpower into it for an automatic success.
Was a little bit too aggressive with my dice throwing there.
No, that's fine. You have a high enough dice roll. I don't think you needed it, but we'll see how this dice roll turns out.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 on the dice.
Oh, you actually did need it.
Did I?
Yeah, because otherwise you would have missed it by 1. But the willpower gives you your 5th success, clinching the 20 successes that you needed for this extended roll. And you see the story laid out in front of you. He has ripped himself from time, and it all began the moment the totems were destroyed. And you see that he is a missionary. He is trying to bring this idea of Christendom, of Christianity, to this new world. He is trying to bring the solace of God to the people, and it is through the destruction of the totems that his avatar awakens. But it doesn't awaken the way it should. And you see that the shard cries out. It is the first time This shard has never been in the wheel. It has never known the idea, the concept of being gifted to man and working the cosmic wheel and learning and adapting and becoming, trying to be the best version of itself. It is the first time it is awakened. It is the first time that this shard has known an existence and millennia of solitude, of banishment, honestly, imprisonment of a different kind shatter this man's mind. And the Archangel Michael speaks through him and sets him on this path to reignite the heavenly host, to bring his brothers together, to usher mankind into a new age as the Creator intended. And he has succeeded at every turn. He has gone back in time. He has ripped avatar after avatar after avatar and forged it with his own. And now he is 3 avatars away from coming back into the material world from wherever this host has been shattered and spread to. These are creatures that were broken for a reason. And if he comes back, he will wring destruction on mankind. There is nothing but anger bubbling in the pit of that first shard, and he hates humanity. And he hates those fallen that have avoided the fate that befell his brethren, his hosts, and he despises Lucifer and the rest that have broken themselves free. And this man is almost about to accomplish his goal. And you see that Cammy's avatar joins and the wing feels whole. It almost starts to look like burnt umber, sunsets flaring on the horizon, just feathers of stained glass. And the flaming sword becomes a little more real, a little less glass, a little more divine steel. And he looks almost, you're ashamed to think it, but glorious. Silas, your turn.
I was going to say, can I ask a couple of follow-up questions on that?
Sure. Yeah. I'll give you a couple questions.
He needs avatars to reform. Does he need our avatars in specifically, or any 3 avatars?
Yours specifically. You
What
are shards of Michael.
Avatars if we die here, not by his hand. If he doesn't take it, if we just die for some other reason.
You could avoid him entirely until he finds your new host. But when that happens, is anyone's guess. You know more than anyone that an avatar could come back immediately, or it could take years to find its way back from the cosmic wheel.
Right. And last question, I think.
Sure.
Shattering the totem began this, yes.
Shattering the totem began his descent into his madness.
But mending it wouldn't get rid of him.
No.
Okay.
No. Silas, your turn.
Okay. Has the snake made any moves yet? Or is it that's coming later?
It'll act at the end of your turn. So
Okay.
you'll get your turn first, and then the snake can act.
All right. I look back at Carissa and see that she's out again.
Yep.
Can I revive her?
Sure. simple life magic to revive her.
Okay.
As long as you heal one of her lethal levels, she'll come to.
And difficulty on this one?
7.
Again? 7.
Yep.
2.
2. So Carissa will heal 2 levels of lethal. If you have them. I'm not sure where you are with damage.
That's still going to take me down to. I had gone over to aggravated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take me down to crippled.
Okay. But you come to.
Yes.
And you no longer feel Cammy.
Where's my sister?
Her body's where it was standing. It's just slumped on the floor. But you don't feel her.
I'm going to rush over to her and try to, I don't know what the timeline is on this, but she does have the ability to revive the recently dead.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to burn a willpower.
Sure.
And I'm going to spend, how much quint I'm going to spend all the rest of my quint, which is 3 to lower the difficulty. So was I at
4.
7? 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
so difficulty 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, willpower 5. Bringing back
5.
my sister.
Cammy, would you want to come back to life without your avatar?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a sister to take care of.
Okay. So let's take off the gray box. As breath comes back and Kami spurts out blood and viscera. It's your sister, but it's also not. She's not an ecstatic anymore. Your bond spiritually is broken. Your avatar cries out to join hers in the fold.
I pull her up in my arms and hold her.
Cammy like hugs her back.
Yeah, her being her sister is number 1. Being mages together, it was beautiful, but it was number 2. Her sister being alive is the most important thing. So her avatar can be quiet.
Right. Then that brings us to Cammy's turn.
I'm not a mage here.
Mm-hmm.
Cammy probably recognizes that she's not a mage.
Yep.
So she's probably going to go hide where Coyote is. Yeah,
sure.
That way she's not a distraction to her sister since she knows she can't help now.
Yeah. And there is a moment where the preacher looks in your direction and just has this profound sadness in his face. And then for his turn, does Carissa want to fight off his attempt to take her avatar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So make a counter roll.
Okay.
I thought you would just join your sister in the wings of glory.
No, she's the overachiever. Okay.
Okay.
Down to my. Okay, I'm gonna another willpower, and I have only 1 left.
7. Difficulty 7.
Phew. I got 110.
Okay. So that will negate those 2. So you take 6 points of aggravated damage as he rips your avatar from your body.
Oh.
So can we get that gray scare back?
For me.
Carissa this time?
Bruh.
Yeah, one at a time. We'll just go round robin. But Lydia and Silas both see and hear this pained cry as Carissa's avatar is now ripped from her body, and it willingly, it doesn't even fight him like Cammy's did. It willingly shoots up into the stained glass, and there's this moment where both Cammy's and hers come together to form this beautiful double image. Cammy, what does that look like since Carissa's dead?
So I imagine, so their avatars take the shapes of two different birds. I imagine it's a wing of each coming together. And they literally just flying.
Okay. Also, I forgot, Urian, make a 5-die roll for your snake attack.
Do I fall into like initiative anywhere, or was that my turn when I woke up?
Yeah, that was your turn when you woke up.
Okay.
If you wanted to throw a punch, you could have.
No. This what she would do now, and I can wait, is she just wants to bring the dolls to Carissa, both of them, since Carissa is now dead.
That is beautiful, and I'm here for it. Yeah, you could see that once Carissa's body slumps down, and you know that she's no longer part of this world, you could easily have gone over and grabbed the two dolls. Difficulty 6 on your attack roll. You're in for your snake.
6. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3.
3 of them.
4.
4. Okay, so you actually hit him. You see that he tries to move out of the way, and there's a moment where you see like 3 or 4 after images of his leg, but the snake finds purchase, and it actually does bite into him.
Does he? Going to be hard to tell at this point if he's envenomed or not, but
Yep. But you got 2 over. He does have a life effect up, so he's gonna be able to soak the lethal. And he does. So even though he gets hit, you see that his it doesn't have the effect you want it to. He doesn't look pained by it in any way, shape, or form. But that brings us back to the top. Lydia.
There's only one way. We can't beat him. And I'd like to look at Cammy and, well, Silas in particular. He's the only mage left here. Silas, do not fail. Get the totem back. And then I would like to take a little ritual knife that I have been carrying. I look to my avatar. I say, you had better go a long way away this time for your own sake.
It nods, understanding what you're doing.
And she takes the knife and just...
And a gray box for Lydia, please.
Across her neck.
And there's a moment as the lifeblood is coming out of Lydia. Silas will see the rabbit that is her avatar, the hair, just kind of come up, nudge her body with the top of his head. And as it looks up at you, you could almost swear that this creature was crying. And it shatters and just scatters to the winds. You hear the thunking. You can start to see the gate is actually starting to manifest itself.
Okay.
But you see that he is struggling to keep whatever's coming out of his domain. With Lydia dead, it brings us to your turn, Silas.
With correspondence 3, can I move myself to where the Stargate is coming in?
Oh yeah, you could easily just step over there.
Oh, okay. So it's right next to us.
Yeah, it's not that far. It's kind of like right in the middle of the 4 churches.
Now, since I am familiar with where the Stargate was, it's too far for me to go back to that point in the bar.
As far as correspondence is concerned,
yeah,
it is a little too far. You could try to get the successes you would need for that. You don't know how far into the Umbra you are, though.
True.
You are at least very familiar with where you're trying to get to. Your connection is spotty at best. You will need a number of successes.
I have 6 quintessence that I'm willing to spend.
Oh my God. All right, so roll your arete. It's going to be a difficulty 7 starting off. You can blow all of your quintessence.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
And
that'll mean that anything but a 1 will give you a success, but 1 still cancel out.
Okay. I have a 9, an 8, a 5, and a 3. And I would also use a willpower.
5 successes. That is more than enough to get you from here to there. Are you going by yourself?
There's no one left to take.
I mean, Cammy's alive.
Is
not
she?
a mage.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm alive. I came back. Carissa's last act.
Sorry.
She's not a mage, though.
It doesn't matter. I'll take her with me if I can.
Okay. And you grab her and...
Can we grab Coyote too?
Yeah, of course. I'm assuming that you have the totem.
Cammy's going to try and pick up both Carissa's and Lydia's bodies. She can only pick one. She's taking Carissa. Sorry, Lydia, but I'm not the target now.
You would have to fight off Silas.
For both of them?
To get to either one of them, because they're... The closest one is Lydia, but...
I thought I was next to Carissa with the dolls now.
No, you are...
Okay. You
are where the dolls are. Yeah, you're closer to Lydia, but Carissa is all the way over where he was.
She is going to try and fight him to get her sister's body.
Okay. Does Silas fight back or just let her go? You know you cannot hold this portal. If she goes for either body, she is going to be lost.
Oh, a tough choice. We cannot fail this mission.
Okay, so you take Coyote and run.
Yes.
All right. So you show up at the Double Crown with the totem. Coyote shifts down into an actual lupus form coyote. And you see the Stargate is completely open, and you see the back of Franklin going through, and then the gate closes. And it crumbles. It shatters. It looks like everything that they used to open it the second time was too much for it. And there is a bartender who comes over to you and hands you 2 letters. One is addressed to R. Akers, and the other one is addressed to T. Graves.
Okay.
And he says, Franklin said that when you go to meet with this group that you gave these over, and he also wanted you to have this. And he gives you another copy of the book. but this one doesn't have the pages missing. And you see that there's writing on the sides of each page, just questioning, underlined portions of it, and just formulas that you recognize as hermetic of him trying to fight this outcome that he couldn't. And it is that whoever brings back these totems, a representative from each of the supernatural factions, there must be a vampire present, there must be a ghost present, there must be a werewolf present, a fae present, and a mage present when these totems are brought together, and they must all willingly sacrifice of their life force to rebind them. And it hits you that he ripped this out from your copy to remove that burden from the four of you. And Cammy will join her sister, two dolls in her hands, as Franklin comes through. And in this space, you will see that the preacher steps back. Behind Franklin, there is his own version of a stained glass window, but it is the endless night, star-filled, comets shooting in the distance. And he speaks with an authority that is not his voice. It is loud, it is booming, and it says, "I am Terrariel, the throne of the Indigo Expanse, first of the fourth house, and I correct you, brother." And as he says that, you see that the burning wings start to fizzle out. They fall in place and shatter, and the last little bit of sundown that's left, which you know intrinsically from having been awakened, is this man's avatar. Franklin shatters it. And he sends all the pieces as far into the void, into the Umbra, as possible. And he looks down at the two of you, and he tells you in his voice, live a life that she would be proud of. Join the dolls together and find your way home, Miss Elton. I'll deal with Miss Crane.
She does that.
The moment you put the two dolls hugging each other, both of you are transported. What is the one place Cammy considers home?
With her sister. Barring that, probably just the place they grew up together.
You appear there, out of time, holding her body as you see the two of you as children running out into whatever adventure you both are going to take on this day. And her body starts to become butterflies, just these little spiritual sundown representations of what could have been. And as her body begins to disappear into the ether, yours follows. A human without an avatar should never experience what it is to travel through time. But now you know how you found these dolls and how they came into your possession. And it is the last realization that comes to you before oblivion takes you. And that is where our story ends. So thank you for participating. And I hope that you had a good time, regardless of all the traumatic pain that I put you through.
You can't really see in black and white that I'm tearing up, so I'm just going to tell you.
Oh, I'm crying, obviously.
I appreciate that. 75% death rate is not enough to beat Mama, but I'll take it. And as always, I want to say this publicly. All of you have a seat on my extended cast for Mage if you want it. So just know that you have been fantastic, and I could not have asked for a better cast. And with that, I will use my spirit, life, and entropy, because he is a spirit of entropy, summon the disembodied voice of Shanky. Look at that.
Thank you.
There we go. Now the people can hear me even. Wow, ain't that funny?
Ooh, fancy.
I want to thank the players of Queen's Gambit. This was the final of the non-finale, basically the final of the one splat episodes. Everyone did very well. You've all been through a lot. But one of you gets to go to the last episode. So, yeah, we'll see how this ends. I got to call out. I love the use of time at the end. And for those wondering why I say that, you'll find out next week. Thank you to the players. Thank you to the viewers. And Astral, no, it was slow because I was fixing KoFi and then had to unmute myself. I don't want to pull a Ben, okay? So deal with that. Please, everybody, join us on the Discord. Discord's where the cast of all of these Queen's Gambit shows come from, and all of our others. We've got a great community. Let me tell you, it was a lot of work to get about 30 people together to go through this. And then it was less than 30, but the auditions were 32. So, yeah, it's been a lot. So please join us on a Discord. Now that this is almost done here, we might even get to do some Zoom Hangouts here lately. Not tonight, but soon. If you want to catch back episodes, hey, get caught up on this. Pop over to our YouTube channel. I will say, if you want to learn the details about those shards of Michael and Franklin's shard, it's in our Demon stream, season 2, episode 7. But you really should watch all of Demon, because it's a good series. Because we just finished up season 3 last Wednesday. So yay! Or Wednesday before last. There we go. Plus, we've got a lot of other World of Darkness and independent stuff. And if you want to see Lydia, who's not dead for real, in her games, you can pop over to the London Esoteric Society channel for D&D 5e or Call of Cthulhu. 100 episodes of Call of Cthulhu are right there. Soon you're going to see 7 Seas. Soon. But, there's lots of content over there too. So, give her a follow on YouTube. Hook her up. If you want to see some amazing content creators, check out our friends. One of them, Revenus Archon. What you got going on?
Oh, well, I just finished up a mini-series of Hunter on my own channel. I run TTRPGs that are not Dungeons and Dragons, so I like to have a little spice of life. I do have Vampire of the Fifth Age, V5 edition, Legend of the Five Rings, Werewolf of the Wild West, 7th Sea. I'm still looking for something to alternate with that. But I'm excited to be in the 7th Sea cast next. We're currently on break for right now, but I do have two miniseries coming in January. Scion First Edition and Wonder Home. which I'm excited to play for the first time and run. So, but otherwise, you can catch me here on Wednesdays, and whenever they let me loose on an odd Friday, where I get to play nothing but lovable scamps.
Yeah. As you bite off a guy's arm and their head in Demon. You know, a lovable scam. Mischievous Red, what you got going on?
Hi, yeah, so I'm Mischievous Red. I stream on my own channel when I can, but life gets in the way sometimes. When I do stream, it's probably going to be more creative stuff. We've been doing some mini painting lately. However, since I do have such a variable schedule, you should join the Discord and you can see when I go live.
Do that, because all of our friends, you'll get notified if you're on our Discord when they go live. We announce their live streams on our channel too. Also, you want to go catch Junie Von Esch? She does her Stitch and Bitch. She's also the storyteller for our Chicago Hidden City game. She's the storyteller for the Werewolf for Queen's Gambit. You should go check out her channel. She does just what I said, Stitch and Bitch, and you can just hang out with her. It's a good thing to do. You want to go check out Rerolls. He streams with us on Kansas City and in Queen's Gambit, but he also has his own channel, and they're doing Mage on Tuesday nights right now. So you should go check that out. You want to get some studio merch? Pop over to merch channel or a merch store. Sign in, because if you're not signed in, you don't get to see the adult stuff like Camp Wish a Motherfucker Would Camp Counselor t-shirt, which, you know, I still find funny. I don't know how many people would wear that out, but I still find it funny. And of course, the infamous Werewolf Red Rockets for Gaia t-shirt, which is as dirty as it sounds. And the No Cowards Here, because you got to have the No Cowards Here shirt for the Werewolf. Now, if you want to help out the players, so you know, supporting the players, bits and donations, they go to the players, not the studio. It's a way for you to give to the players something for their time and effort they put into doing this. I mean, it takes time. Look, Urani's hat doesn't appear out of nowhere. You know how much effort he had to go through to get a hat? It's so difficult. But seriously, it's a way for you to support the players. The studio only takes the taxes out because, you know, we get taxed all to hell on everything. But that's the way that is. If you want to support studio, subscribe on Twitch. It gets rid of the ads. Pop over to our KoFi. But look, it's holiday season. We're getting into Christmas. I understand no money. You want to really support that don't cost you nothing? Pop over to YouTube channel. Like the videos, comment on the videos, subscribe to the channel. And since it's the Christmas season, go over to the London Esoteric Society's channel, comment on those videos, like those videos, and subscribe there too. So you can bump her up in the search rating so more people can watch her videos. Because look, Tiss, our wonderful keeper of arcane secrets there, she's an amazing player. She's also an amazing game master. So you should check her shit out. Now, for the schedule. Next week, all we have is Queen's Gambit next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we go into the finale. And trust me when I say the finale is going to be rough, people. Now everybody knows you're not coming back one way or another, but that don't mean you're going to succeed. Death is a one-way trip. We'll see how that goes. And after that, we actually don't have any other streams until the new year. After next Friday, the next stream is January 4th, where you'll get to see 7 Seas at 3 p.m. Eastern. We were just talking about that. And then that same day, apparently we come right back to a double feature because at 8 p.m. Eastern, Chicago Hidden City comes back. Same day. And for those that like the Kansas City game, that returns all the way on January 10th. We'll be back for Kansas City. Friday, January 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're back for Kansas City. So we're about to get a little bit of a break before we spin everything back up to go crazy again. But, we'll be back to that. So there's the schedule. Now, as always, everybody, mental health. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Check in on those around you. Make sure they're okay. Reach out to friends, family, loved ones. A lot of people mask. They hide the fact that they got problems, and just takes a kind voice or a friendly word to help them out. And if you suffer from mental health issues, I first want to tell you it's okay to not be okay. But I understand if you don't feel you can reach out to your support network, because some people think that's a burden on those around them. If you look in chat, you can see a list of numbers that can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you can reach out to them to get the help you need. And if you are in crisis, please reach out to those numbers to get the help, because mental health is health, everybody. And if you're not in the U.S. or you watch this on YouTube and you don't get to see the chat, go to findahelpline.com. and you can put in your country of origin and find the support network for your country. Okay. So please do that. And finally, since Mama's not here, I can do her part of the outro. Please get your damn shots, both the flu and the COVID vaccine. Get your boosters. Take care of that. Take care of your physical health because, mental health, physical health, both tied together. We don't need a return of fucking polio. We don't need a return of or an increase in RSV, I think it's called. I think that's what it was. I'm trying to remember. We don't need a return of all that communicatable shit. So just please get your shots. And finally, if you voted for Trump or you abstained from the voting, I need you to fuck off. Get the fuck out of here because, frankly, you done fucked up. We've now got a fucking wannabe fascist dictator coming into office who him and his the shadow president Elon Musk torpedoed a fucking budget deal. Thankfully, they got it passed today. The House passed the budget, but they cut out funding for cancer research for children. That's some fucked up shit to cut out of all damn things. They cut out a bunch of other good policies. So please, fuck right off. You've enabled and thrown people under the bus to save 5 cents a gallon on gas. And that's some bullshit. So please take that to heart because I mean it sincerely. Fuck right off. And I do thank you all for coming. And good night, everybody.